Welcome to StopFake, the place where we identify disinformation, debunk it, and set the record straight on fakes about Ukraine. I'm Marko Suprun, and our stories this week are: Ukrainian presidential elections will be illegitimate, Ukraine may lose its EU visa-free status, and Ukraine is fast becoming the most indebted country. So let's get to the details. Russia's propaganda machine has declared Ukraine's upcoming March 31 presidential elections illegitimate before they even have taken place, claiming the country's foreign ministry, quote, has made it impossible for its citizens living in the Russian Federation to cast their vote. Russian Defense Ministry outlets Zvezda, Ukraina.ru, and other Russian publications featured such fakes in response to the Ukrainian Central Election Commission's decision to close polling stations in Russia. This decision is illegal, claimed Regnum and company. There is no democracy in a country with a fascist regime, declared Ukraina.ru, while others droned on about Ukraine's contrived reasons for closing the polls in Russia. Now, the Ukrainian Central Elections Commission closed the 5 polling stations located in its embassy and consulates in Russia and moved them to Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Finland on the basis of a foreign ministry recommendation. In a column in the prominent internet newspaper Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin explained that the polling stations would be transferred from Russia to other countries because Russia is an aggressor country against Ukraine, and holding a poll in Ukraine's consulates and embassies there is simply not safe. Klimkin cites a September 2018 poll in which 56% of Russians have said they have a negative view of Ukrainians and expresses concern for the safety of Ukrainian voters and diplomatic buildings. Quote, "Those who choose to vote will fall under the watchful eye of the Russian security service and are at risk of repression. Russian prisons already hold dozens of Ukrainian political prisoners who were jailed on fabricated charges," Klimkin writes. While there are some 2.5 million Ukrainians living in Russia, only 49,418 were actually registered to vote in the last Ukrainian presidential election held in 2014. Only a meager 1,134 actually turned out to vote, Klimkin pointed out. Scores of Russian media disseminated fakes claiming that Ukraine could be deprived of the visa-free regime that it currently enjoys with the European Union. REN TV, the Defense Ministry television stations Zvezda, Lenta.ru, NTV, and others all claimed that the European Commission had said as much in its December 18, 2018 report on the visa suspension mechanism, that the EU is allegedly dissatisfied with the huge number of violations by Ukraine, particularly by the large number of Ukrainian migrants. StopFake asked Ukraine's foreign ministry to clarify whether the country's visa-free regime with the Schengen zone countries was in danger of being revoked. According to foreign ministry representatives, the Russian claims are complete fakes. There is absolutely no danger of the visa-free arrangement being revoked, and the European Commission has not issued any conditions or ultimatums for its continuation. Now, the European Commission's report referred to in this fake is an analysis of the most relevant and recent developments relating to the implementation of the visa liberalization program. Published on December 19 of last year, the document examines how the visa-free regime is working out in the Balkans, Moldova, Georgia, and Ukraine, tracks asylum applications, illegal border crossings, and illegal stays. The report states that Ukraine is abiding by the rules and makes no mention of a possible termination of the visa-free regime. Last year, StopFake debunked a similar fake story about Ukraine potentially losing the visa-free program with the Schengen zone countries of the European Union. Several pro-Kremlin Russian publications, NTV, the Defense Ministry organs Zvezda, Ukraina.ru, Moskovsky Komsomolets, Ruskaya Vesna, and Komsomolskaya Pravda, published stories claiming that Ukraine is fast becoming the country with the biggest debt. These publications cite Ukrainian politician Valentin Nalyvaichenko, who has posted this claim on his Facebook page. Well, Mr. Nalyvaichenko is wrong. Ukraine does not even make it into the top 20 list of countries with the greatest public debt. According to the International Monetary Fund, Ukraine's public debt is 68.8% of its gross domestic product. This is much lower than the public debt of France, for example, which is 96.7% of its GDP, or Great Britain's 87.2%. In the United States, the public debt is 107.8% of the nation's GDP. In Greece, 176.9%, and the world's most indebted nation is Japan, with a staggering 236.6% of its GDP. Japan, however, is far from a poor country. That's it for this week. Our video digest only presents a small amount of the fakes we debunk every week. You can find much more dissected disinformation on the StopFake website. Be vigilant, look out for fakes, and if you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, forward it to us for a truth autopsy. I'm Marko Suprun, and this is StopFake. Thanks for watching.